Hi everyone at hashtag B1LessNews and hashtag CDC Whistleblower, and right now hashtag SP277, and emerging to be trending very, very soon, hashtag mine in all caps. We will fill you in more on that international movement as it evolves. Think red shirts, think hashtag mine, as in this is my body. I am here with @Tanner's dad, who I sometimes remember is actually Timothy Welsh, and @CES Stave, who I always remember is Candace with a Y. Can you guys say hi really quick?
Hello.
Tim's muted us, so we'll talk.
Hello, everybody.
Ella, okay, Tim said this picture is way boring, and I totally agree. But it is home base for anyone fighting SB277, SB792, any of the bills in California. We have gone to calendarwiz.com about a month and a half ago. We mark everything we find that should go on the calendar with hashtag SB277 calendar, and then we have someone who goes around, collects all those hashtag mark posts where people talk about events happening around the state, and then we put them all in one place on this calendar. The thing that's missing now is we need to make sure that there's then people assigned to each one of these events to make sure that the right number and correct people show up. We are working on that right now. The most important thing coming up right now is I'm going to hang out with Ben Allen again, my new best friend. And but even more importantly, we are planning a massive, massive demonstration in Los Angeles at the Grove, sponsored by the Million Mamas Movement, which is Wendy Silvers, who has stepped up to be a part of every single hearing that we've had in Sacramento. She has meetings at her house. She's right in the middle of making this all a huge success, uniting, especially in Los Angeles, people fighting for the right to own their own body and own their children's body. So we are meeting at the Farmers Market entrance to the Grove at noon. Wear your red shirts, wear your pins, bring your signs, and be prepared to play Follow the Leader. We will see you there. We're expecting hundreds and hundreds of people. It's going to be a blast, and we're going to show solidarity and find those people who probably vaccinate their children but care deeply that they vaccinate because they want to, not because they're told to. So again, that's noon on Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow, or tomorrow. So we'll see you there. This right here is a concept that was floating around on Twitter. To do today, figure out, why do kids die? How do kids die? Will your kids die from their mandated vaccines? Until we can answer these questions, maybe we should hold off on more mandates. And if you go to the link, who is at risk, which I will type in right here, who is at risk, that's why these handy dandy tiny URLs work out so well. You will see Cheryl Atkinson, who's this brilliant reporter, but most importantly, this is the only, CBS has blocked this from their site now. You need to listen to Dr. Bernadine Healy, who is was the head of the NIH, talking about the fact that there are vulnerable children. We need to look into them. It has not happened. So it's very important that you go there. Now let's move on. Kennedy is on fire all over the country. He hasn't done official interaction at the hearings in California, but he will. But he's been all over the country, and he's certainly doing a wonderful job of representing the parents of vaccine-injured children who simply want people to find the research about vaccines that you might not readily find. This is another one. Great shout out to Reversing Autism 1 on YouTube, Andrea, who took it upon herself to find the Vermont testimony and get it up. It's at tinyurl.com, RFK Vermont, where we have researchers trying to find these documents right here. He said the vaccine division of the CDC was investigated by the U.S. House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, HHS Inspector General, and the Office of Research and Integrity. And in his words, what they said was, the consensus is the vaccine division of the CDC has become a cesspool of corruption. And Candace, you looked up the definition of that for us when we were trying to spell correctly. What did it say?
It's a cesspool is a place for sewage and gross.
Where they dump the shit. There you go. I said it. Okay. So this is much bigger than people want to believe that it is. My only advice to anyone who's attempting to move the needle, because that's all we really want to do, is we want to every day move the needle just a little bit until we hit a tipping point. And that's why the hashtag #BeOneLess and BeOneLess.com is so powerful, because part of what kept Candace and Tim and I and Marcella and Carolyn and Angela and all these people who worked really hard was, it's kind of like the Berlin Wall. We didn't look at the Berlin Wall and go, oh my God, it's untenable. We can't make this happen. It's too huge. We've got our bulldozers here, but they're blocked by police. We can't possibly make a difference on this Berlin Wall. Instead, we went 4 miles down and just started taking bricks down. And now people are running through. And the wall is going to crumble, but not with you standing in the middle of the fight when all anybody's doing is fighting about what they believe versus what you believe. Whereas if you go 4 miles down on the wall and you climb in people's doggy door, where you find people that are even a tiny bit interested in figuring out what's going on with whether or not they own their child's body, and then you ease in the side door with half our kids are sick, and well, we've never vaccinated against unvaccinated, and of course we don't know if that's what's going on, but we don't know that it's not either, and you ease in the doggy door. I was at an event last night where it was more the stand in the middle of it all, and it ended up in this huge fight, and it was just deeply unsuccessful. But we learn more every day, and one of the big things we're going to do is we're going to start taking groups of people who are interested in being part of the solution, be on the radio, write articles, and train us all how to move the needle by going 4 miles and climbing in the doggy door.
You know what? You know what I'm going to spend today doing now, don't you?
What?
I'm going to be looking for a diagram and a somewhat of a map that shows the doggy door, the side door, and somehow we kick Pan in the back door.
That's a really good visual. I bet you there's a meme maker out there that'll probably run with that if I were to guess. Timothy, you're so smart. So this is, we have researchers right now, and I'm talking to all you guys about this. We have found this document, HHS Inspector General document, which is right here, or it was right here. What just happened? Okay, now I'm in a loop. Let me just go to here, and I'll find it another way. So we found this document, which I think Candace just tweeted. So let's see. Yes, which is right here. So we have this document. There's 3 more that we need that are mentioned. So people are looking for those. If anybody's out there and can look for the documents, go to @CESDave, look for the meme with Robert F. Kennedy. That's all we know right now about those 3 other studies that we need links to. And if push comes to shove tomorrow, we're just going to get it from Eric and Bobby. Okay, so now let's go to, this is a meme that we found that is quite interesting. When you really look at the reality of what's going on, it's sick and twisted at epic levels. So this says, vaccine violation chain of events. Who is behind the mask of SB 277? This top one right here says, government pressures on vaccines. And this is, you need to go to tinyurl.com/ and I'm just going to say / now, healthy 2020. Then they deny parent reports of injuries / we are the herd / we are, no, what did I screw up there?
Meet my herd?
Oh my God, it's wrong. It's meet my herd and meet the herd. So we need to get a shout out to this. We need to edit this person's meme somehow. Okay. And what that does is it eliminates questions to product pushers, which is / no vax questions. We've eliminated manufacturer liability, which is / vax liability, while eliminating discovery of product flaws. Sorry about that. We persecute parents who claim injury, which is /anti-vaxxers. We mandate for education and employment, /vaxmanda. Oralia, please stop, thank you. We refuse to provide constitutionally guaranteed education, refusing school. This is the cycle. And in the middle of all of it, we have states that are going to pay and fight lawsuits, and you have lawyers all over the country going, yeah, baby! Not only do the pharmaceutical manufacturers win, but the lawyers are having to understand that this is a big payday for them as well. Okay, so then Tim, what did you find here? /Vax Wingnet. Well, I go to it. What you liked this one? What did it have to say? Someone's calling. I wonder if that's Tim calling because he got.
Tim's still with us. He's just muted.
Timothy, you found Vax Wingnet. Why is it not coming up? This article, Tim, can you talk about this article for us? I love this guy's hair. I'll tell you what this article says. It basically says, and Tim's the one who found this, that this is crazy what's going on right now. There's no question that it's crazy. But beyond being crazy, it's bringing out the crazies in everyone. And it's pitting everyone against everyone else as if there's no place in any of this for people to have a rational discussion. The story is complicated, in fact, much more than either side is willing to admit. The arguments on both sides are full of holes. Let him just go with that. Because bottom line, he is saying in his conclusion here that all this talk about preserving herd immunity, when what we should really be worried about is the development of a herd mentality, which is, they developed the herd mentality a long time ago. This is just them getting the payoff on it. Again,
my point is there is the fact that we put right out front that we have holes in our argument. There's questions that do not have answers to, and part of our job as parents is not to go out and do the research. If we went out and raised a couple $2 billion and did the research, they would discredit our research as being biased. The job of the industry, the medical establishment, is to do unbiased research that doesn't have the influence of pharmaceutical industry. So basically all we're doing is saying that there are holes, and those are questions that need to be answered.
I think you're totally right that all we really have is evidence and questions. Evidence that they want to ignore and questions they want to say are answered, right? And we're not asking, like Posey just came out and on March 25th to request that the federal government do a vaccinated against unvaccinated study. And the reason why I like that is it puts a timestamp on the fact that it simply has not been done. But the last thing I want our federal government to do is study vaccinated against unvaccinated, because I know the way that they manipulate data based on the cesspool of corruption, and the result is going to be they're going to say there's no difference. It's just, so we're asking for them to do something they're not even capable of doing. So anyway, Autism 1. Think, focus, think, thrive. Thrive is what I bring to the table. So we are going to be there, and we are super excited. Candace is going to be there heading up with Marcella, hopefully, the Vax Truth. Let me see. Let me get to that. Panel, which is all right here. If you go to autism1.org and then click on Vax Truth, and then if you go here and click on Thrive, you can see my track. So your hashtag CDC whistleblower team is going to be there representing, and Timothy is going to be there in our luggage. We're super excited to have him coming along too. So come meet your team of the little engine that could on this whole thing. Now, we have some people. Who was the shout out you wanted to give for the Trace Amount? Danny Masterson, who's an actor who, he's not quite as big as like a Cindy Crawford, but there are people absolutely coming out of the woodwork to say, wait a minute, take a look at this. So lots going on. Anything else, Candace or Timothy?
Nothing here.
Well, you've always got
But, you know,
We're going to say it on Twitter and Periscope today. So we'll rebroadcast this on Periscope. If anybody's watching, join Periscope. We're doing a One Heart Club now where we're showing all the celebrities that join, and I think they donate a heart to some of them.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. So both these guys are on Periscope. They're multitasking now where they're doing Periscope at the same time that they're tweeting. We will see you at the Grove at the Farmers Market entrance at noon. We will see you on Twitter using hashtag SB277 and hashtag mine and hashtag CBC Whistleblower. And we will see you on at CES Day at the very, very, very beginning of her pictures, because we've had some people who played at bringing her memes back to the surface, but we need someone who just sits around on their phone retweeting those memes with hashtag SB277 and hashtag mine. So we will see you on Twitter. Love you guys.